Do you see it? Do you see it? My face. Don't mind these blemishes that you see because we have come a long, long way. A little backstory on my skin before I get into my skincare routine. So in 2019, the ending of 2019, my face started to break out really bad. I could not figure out what was causing my face to break out. I went to a dermatologist. They couldn't tell me why my face was breaking out. I went to an allergist. I found out that I was allergic to a lot of environmental things like trees and dust and things of that sort, but I've always had those allergies, and that did not lead me any closer to actually finding out what was breaking my skin out. So I actually just began to play a process of elimination. So I started to take dairy out of my diet. I started to take a lot of sweets because I do love sweets. I tried to take those out of my diet, and then to kind of see what was actually causing the breakouts, but the breakouts still happen. So I went into overdrive, went on YouTube, and tried to find some skincare routines that I felt like would help me speed the process of my skin healing, even though I didn't know why my skin was doing what it was doing. Long story short, the products that I found on YouTube were a no for my skin. My skin reacted horribly to those things. I think that they were either too harsh. Now, the things that caused me to get those burn marks that you guys saw in that previous video was kojic acid. I decided to use some kojic acid soap, and I guess I was overusing the soap because some people had really great results from the soaps according to YouTube, but I guess I was overusing the soap to the point where my skin began to burn. I must have been leaving it on too long. I don't know. I probably wasn't just playing by the rules, but my face was in the worst condition ever. And then when it healed from the kojic acid burns, it left dark spots all here, but the breakouts still would not stop. Even now to this day, I don't know what caused the breakouts, but I do know that I began to be consistent with using UrbanSkinRx once it was recommended to me by 3 different people. After I had gotten the skin burns, I wasn't interested in trying anything else. My dad was like, stop using everything and just use water and cocoa butter to heal the skin back, and I did that. And like I said, I don't know what caused my skin to break out. I don't know what caused it to stop breaking out, but I know that since I've been using UrbanSkinRx, the condition of my skin has improved significantly. A lot of those dark spots that were there are no longer existent, and I am going to show you guys what I did in order to bring my skin back to optimum health, and this right here is good enough for me. The very first step of my skincare routine is to ensure that my hands are well cleansed before I start touching my face. This part is really important because I don't want any bacteria that could be stored under my fingernails or on my hands going into my face. So I wash my hands for about 20 seconds to make sure that all the bacteria is gone. Use lukewarm water. This time I was using really hot water because I wanted to make sure my hands were extra clean. Next, you'll see here that I am just massaging water throughout my face. I love to do this because it really feels good on my face, and it also breaks up the dirt or any oil that may be on my face from throughout the day. So I just go in and I keep massage for about 30 seconds before I start the first step of my skincare routine. I go in with UrbanSkinRx Even Tone Cleansing Bar. It's a soap, and I use a sponge in order to make sure that I'm distributing it through my face well. I do this for about 30 seconds, making sure that I am getting every part of my face covered, my forehead, my cheeks. I oftentimes forget my forehead. I don't know how, but I'm focusing on the problematic areas, which typically are my cheeks. So I have to intentionally remind myself to make sure you get that forehead, because I will forget about my forehead. Now, the great thing about this is that the cleansing bar from UrbanSkinRx is also an exfoliant, and it is a mask. So I may keep this on for about 30 minutes. The instructions tell me that I can leave it on for about 3 minutes in order to get the full benefits of the bar, but I only leave it on for about 30 seconds. Oh, my bad. I meant 30 seconds. I know I said 30 minutes in the previous clip, but I meant 30 seconds. I only leave this on my face for up to 30 seconds, maybe sometimes a minute depending on the day. But because I have so many steps for this particular face care routine, I make sure that I keep everything to a minimum. Now, after the cleansing bar, I like to go in with an exfoliant. This is their Lactic Polish cleanser. It's another cleanser, but it does have those micro beads in it that helps you lift up a lot of that dry skin that is on your skin. So this is me, of course, working in the product. I'm going to put the product on the screen, but I'm going to speed the rest of this up so that the video is not super long. So in this next clip, what you see me doing is actually using a paper towel to dry the excess water off of my face before I go to the next step, which is toning. I used to use a rag specifically for my face, but I realized that after each use, the rags also hold bacteria. So I wanted to eliminate as much bacteria as I possibly could going back into my face after I had already cleansed it. So the next step here is me using the Thayer's Blemish Cleansing Pads. I love these pads so much. They're an alternative for the witch hazel that I would normally use to tone my skin. I also tried to use UrbanSkinRx's glycolic pads that they have for the same reason. However, I did not like how the pads made my skin feel afterwards. They had this sticky film on it that I really did not like, so I stopped using those pads once I ran out. I work in these pads. I love them so much. Now this next step is very important. It is me using the fan. The fan is so important to the moisturizing process because sometimes the products do not blend well. So I make sure that I go in, or before I go in, I make sure that my face is completely dry. The next step is using UrbanSkinRx's Super Glow Serum. I love this serum so much. It is next to my favorite, which is the Super C Serum. I love that serum so much, but I ran out and I had to go to my local store and go and get some of the Super Glow Serum. They both work wonders on making sure that I have that glow that I love so much. And yeah. We are almost to the end. Here is my favorite moisturizer to use before I put on my sunscreen. It is the Glowing Moisturizer. It is the holy grail of moisturizers. I've tried several moisturizers and this moisturizer is the only one that seems like it kisses my skin. I love it so much. Next, you'll see me here using the Clinique Eye Serum. I love this so much. It's the eye serum. It is in this little container. I love it so much. It is so hydrating to my under eyes. Second to last, right before I put my sunscreen on, I like to use Clinique's dark spot corrector. I still have those dark spots, as you saw in the very beginning of the video, that I am targeting to see if I can actually get those pigmented places to lift up a little bit. If they don't, I'm not too concerned about it because if I wanted them to go, then there's makeup for that. Now I'm putting on my moisturizer. This is the sunscreen moisturizer that seals everything in, and it's really important to use a sunscreen moisturizer daily, but also when you are treating your skin for dark spots, because if you do not use a sunscreen while you're treating your skin, you will have even darker spots on your face. And that is the end of my skincare routine. Well, actually, one more step, which is to use the Moisture Surge facial spray by Clinique. I'll also put that here. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and you got it right, share. If there's anybody that you think could use this video for some added support in order to get their skincare routine off the ground, or if somebody who's struggling like I was. I know that when I was struggling with my skincare routine, it was the end of the world, but guess what? It wasn't, and I found a regimen that worked for me, and I hope that this could also offer you some hope in you finding a regimen for yourself. That is my word for you. Don't give up during the process, because if you stick it out to the end, you'll also have some really great results. Love you guys, but God loves you more. Peace.